Hello, my name is Todd Havikos, Senior ZOS Performance Consultant with IntelliMagic, here to talk about some great capabilities for visualizing and reporting on zEDC hardware compression. One of the challenges our customers tell us they face with their legacy SMF reporting is keeping up with emerging ZOS technologies. zEDC hardware compression is one of those emerging technologies that's rapidly gaining traction with many of our customers. This is understandable because zEDC is relatively straightforward and inexpensive to implement. It can be leveraged by numerous widely used access methods and products. It reduces disk storage requirements and I/O elapsed times by delivering very good compression ratios. And the CPU cost is very minimal since almost all the processing is offloaded to the hardware. Very excited about the visibility IntelliMagic Vision provides into zEDC processing. zEDC cards represent a new component in your infrastructure that must be managed to ensure sufficient capacity. This report shows utilization for each of the 4 cards that are configured on each of the processors in this environment. You can see the utilizations are running in the teens, so lots of good capacity there that's left. You can drill down from here and see then the contribution of each system toward the capacity that's being used on each card. Also, another metric of significant interest are the service times being delivered by the zEDC cards. You can see in this environment for much of the day the service times are under 10 microseconds with peaks that are under 30 microseconds. zEDC cards compress system data in preparation for write operations. Here we see the compression rate of requests for those compressed requests getting prepared to write the data out to disk storage. One of the things that people are typically very interested in is the compression ratio that's being delivered. So we can see here in this environment that the compression ratio is running in the 6 to 7 to 1 range typically, with some higher and lower values. Now here we see a significantly lower value, and so we'd like to drill down to see what is causing that poor compression ratio. So here at the drilling into the KEK level, we see that this is coming from this particular system, and then if we would like to see what job is contributing to the low compression ratio, we can zoom in here and see that this particular job has done approximately 750,000 compress and decompress requests with a compression ratio just slightly above 1. So with this visibility, we can potentially restrict this job from using compression, zEDC compression, since it's very ineffective. Other metrics for the compression function include the megabytes per second coming into the compress function, and then also the megabytes per second going out, a much lower number because of the compression ratio that we saw earlier. Companion metrics exist for the decompression function that is invoked when compressed data is read in from disk storage so that it can be processed on the system. Here is the request rate for the decompression requests, and again the decompression ratio, which is again pretty comparable to the compression ratio, the amount of megabytes per second coming into the decompress function, and the megabytes per second going out. In this case, a larger value because the data is being decompressed. In your environment, you may want to see which systems and which address spaces are leveraging the zEDC cards. So here is a view of the compression requests by system, and then from here we can drill in and see which address spaces are performing these requests. In this case, these 2 jobs are both SMF dump programs. Looking at another system here, we can see again this set of address spaces doing compression and decompression requests, and we can drill in on this address space, which is a network data mover, and see the number of requests that are being performed over time. Leveraging the capability that IntelliMagic Vision has to rate metrics and tell you whether they're good or bad, check the various elements of your infrastructure, and just surface the items to you that require attention, here's a dashboard for the hardware accelerator cards. We can see here that the metrics that are being reviewed include compression, decompression ratio, utilizations and service times, and these error conditions of queue full and requests in error. So in this environment, the only metric that is being identified as outside of normal thresholds is this queue time metric. So zooming in on that, we can see that that is actually occurring on this test system, on that processor. And zeroing in further, we can see that it's actually occurring on all four of the zEDC cards in that environment. And then we can drill in further and see these set of mini charts for all the metrics being rated here. You can see that the queue time is the metric that's being rated red. We can also see what the compression ratio for the compress requests and decompress requests and the various levels of activity are as well. So this is a great application that leverages the dashboard rating capability that IntelliMagic Vision provides to check all the thousands of elements in your infrastructure and identify just those that need attention. zEDC hardware compression is just one of many technologies, both legacy and emerging, that is supported by IntelliMagic Vision. It gives you great visibility into that and also provides ratings so that you know which items need to take action. So to learn more about getting visibility into zEDC and other aspects of your infrastructure, ZOS Systems infrastructure, you can go to IntelliMagic.com/zEDC.